Welcome to another edition of Let It Be Known. And of course, everyone's talking about the Oscars. And people are happy. The Sinners took home some awards, including this one.
And the Oscar goes to Michael B. Jordan.
Indeed, Michael B. Jordan uh, has won Best Actor, a very rare Best Actor. At the beginning of the night, there was some, including Lauren Live, she was keeping count. Sinners is 0 for 1, 0 for 2, 0 for 3, 0 for 4. Um, Never seen the movie. I know there's a lot of hype behind it, a lot of great stuff behind it as to how it came about, who did it, Ryan Coogler, et cetera, et cetera. But the evening did have a lot of excitement for people who are into stuff like that. Um, Sinners, in fact, had a record breaking 16 nominations, and Michael B. Jordan wins the award for Best Actor. This movie, one battle after another, took home 6 awards, including Best Supporting Actor, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Editing, Best Director, Achievement in Casting, and Best Picture. And where did Sean Penn come from? He won for Best Supporting Actor for Colonel Lockjaw. He wasn't there though, apparently. Sinners had 4 wins altogether: Best Screenplay, along with the Best Actor, Best Cinematography, and Best Original Score. Yeah, he played in the Wire series. Yep. Um, and it's another reason not to talk about the Epstein files, right? And what's going on with our gas prices in Iran. We're gonna get into all of that. Just had to get the Oscar stuff out the way. I'm not a big fan of these award shows. Never have been. Um, at one point, they appeared to have been enjoyable, but I'm not a big fan. It's just people celebrating Hollywood, celebrating Hollywood, and all the pretentiousness and everything else that goes with that junk. Yeah, I said it. It's junk. Has some more serious stuff. Like we are brought to you by, let it be known as brought to you by the Bell Project, which has helped 40,000 families with Bell. And to be home with their families, they continue to fight for cashless bail. And the March On PAC. It's a women led PAC that seeks a level playing field for all who have been uh, disenfranchised, and they want a true democracy. And also, and the thing that's getting overlooked with all of the Oscar stuff and et cetera, which should not get overlooked, and hopefully all of Black media, especially, will remember the one and only Miss Judy Pace, who passed away at the age of 83. Apparently, Miss Pace died in her sleep while visiting her family in Marina Del Rey. She was in Brian's song. Remember that with Billy D. Williams um, and the guy from The Godfather, Sonny from The Godfather. She began her career as a model in the early 1960s. And when director William Castle saw her pictures in Ebony magazine, of course, he cast her in the 1963 film 13 Frightened Girls. It was the beginning of a long career that saw her appear in numerous TV shows and films. Variety is reporting that she was the first Black female actress to be put under long-term contract by Columbia Pictures. And she was in Bewitched, Batman, I Spy, I Dream of Genie, Mod Squad, 1968 and 1969, she appeared in 15 episodes of Peyton Place. She was Vicky Fletcher. Some of the notable films, Cotton Comes to Harlem. We recently watched Cotton, not long ago anyway. Cotton Comes to Harlem. It was baffling. Cotton the Thomas Crown Affair, Frogs, and she was in Shaft too. She, um, she also had a memorable scene in Good Times. I know RNG knows what I'm talking about. That scene, James gets to use his, friend's cabin to take, Florida out for their anniversary, and Florida is so concerned about the kids snowing, they snowbound, it's cold, and she gotta find a phone, and so she goes to find a phone, and while she's out, the this guy Judy was Miss December on the, calendar. I think it was Miss December, and, she's lighting the fire, she's coming on to James, and she goes to light the fire and fix the fire, she's, bent forward, and James is looking like he says, "Good Lord," or something like that. And Florida walks in. It was a great scene, but, Judy Pace, she, portrayed Linda Sayers, the wife of Chicago Bears running back Gale Sayers in that Brian Song movie with, James Caan and Billy D. Williams. That movie was seen by 55 million viewers. RNG says that clip of, her and, James Evans is being shared on the internet right now. And you think about, 55 million viewers, back in 1971. Ooh, that's huge. That is absolutely huge, but she was, uh, certainly a star. She was a star, and she is survived, by, 2 daughters and a, grandson, Judy Pace. She has died at the age of 83, and like I said at the top, this is pretty much being ignored. Variety did do a piece, so it's not totally being ignored by, mainstream media, but, certainly she is an icon and not talked about enough at all. So I wanted to make sure we lifted her up, this morning. I wanna let it be known. Now turning our attention to, the estate of Quincy Jones. They have made a rather startling decision. They at a massive sale. The estate of Quincy Jones has sold parts of his expansive catalog to the investment firm Harbor View. In some selected music and non-music material, including recorded music and publishing rights owned by the late producer and musician, were obtained in an acquisition deal. Um, and according to Vibe magazine, his stake in the trilogy of Michael Jackson's albums from Off the Wall to Thriller was included in this massive sale. It also included his stake in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Remember, it was Quincy Jones who brought Will Smith on and gave him his first real television acting role anyway. And Will has talked in the past about how Quincy believed in him. And Will, obviously is no shabby actor. In fact, Will has turned into one of the best actors out there, at least in my Rashida Jones, his daughter says our father was endlessly curious and always ahead of his time. Long before anyone talked about multi-platform, he was already building bridges and connecting the dots across music, film, television, publishing, technology, and culture, creating iconic juggernauts like Thriller, The Color Purple, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and Vice. He also did the score for Sanford and Son. This is a pretty big deal. Quincy's extensive catalog also include stakes to hit songs by Kanye West and Tupac. So Quincy Jones Estate says, "Hey, show us the money." They cashed in, and a lot of musicians are indeed cashing in. They don't say how much the deal was worth, but it has to be massive because Quincy Jones, no one has a catalog like Quincy Jones. We always talk about verses and you putting people's catalogs against each other's catalogs. No one has a catalog like Quincy Jones. Mike V says, "Is selling the estate the same as selling a catalog?" I know Dr. Dre sold his catalog a few years ago. No, so let me if I misspoke, it's not selling the estate. The estate sold the catalog. Yes, and Dr. Dre, among so many others, Justin Timberlake, was it Justin Timberlake? Justin Bieber, um, Britney Spears, are among the more recent ones who have done this. And speaking of estates, the estate of Michael Jackson made a deal with Sony Entertainment a couple years ago and sold off portions of Michael's catalog as well. It's huge money, these catalogs. Because every time they make a movie, and that might be changing, but every time they make a movie, a TV show, something, it's always some sort of theme song. And every time you hear it, they're getting royalties. And um, same thing with commercials. I mean, we hear the music with commercials, and it goes on and on and on. And it's a lot of money involved in that. But again, I'm not so sure now. I mean, we talked about centers, for instance, and there are other movies. We talked last week on this program about these filmmakers, even in Africa, they're just using um, AI and other forms in which they don't have to rely on getting permissions, paying for permissions, paying for certain things that run up the tab on these movies. They're doing it independently, which is never a bad thing. Ownership, right? Ownership is always the key. Always the key. You know who always talked about ownership? There you go. Let it be known. But ownership is always important. Mike V, yep, Timberland, the producer, has an AI artist signed to his label, and that's where it's all going. It's the cost. Just imagine how much they're saving. I'm not a big fan of it. Um, I mean, it's reality. It doesn't make me a fan. I always talk about that. And Denise Roloff Barnes, the publisher of the Washington Informer, we go back and forth on the AI stuff. I'm not appreciative of it in the sense that it takes away so many jobs. And you don't know what's real anymore. They do tutorials now on is this real or is it AI? And then like on X, they got what Grok to tell you what's real or not. And Grok is not even real. And so I've just never been a fan. Never been a fan. And a lot of people are suffering because of AI. And that's just the way it is. And that's unfortunate. And here's what else is unfortunate, which is crazy. I'm gonna reach out to Luther Campbell as well to talk more about this, but check this out.
And they are really working for their community and for their district. We get somebody that look like us, that's bought and paid for by them, to then give them our community. And all of a sudden, we sitting in Harlem and all the white people walking down the goddamn street. I know Tangent on say don't cost too much, but I get real passionate about this. So the very thing that black kids are becoming instant millionaires right out of high school, NIL, this lady just explained it to you. Just so eloquently explained it to you. And we'll sleep at the wheel. What are they trying to do? They're going to Congress. Nick Saban is lobbying, creating a narrative. They're going to Congress to ask Congress what I'm running for. They're going to ask Congress to create policy and laws to prevent these black kids from profiting off of NIL. That's what they're trying to do. You heard any Democratic congressman say anything about it? A woman? Either they don't know anything about NIL or they're playing sleep.
They know about
They
it.
ain't saying nothing. That's what normally happens. When people don't talk, they're allowing the travesty to happen. And then when people get up in arms, then they'll go out there like, oh yeah, I'm upset that they're doing that. No, you saw it coming down. So you little tender, all these college athletes right now, they need to be maxing out. If you getting $1 million NIL and you want to keep getting your NIL money, or you getting ready to get some NIL money, you need to be putting money in Luke the Campbell campaign. You need to be logged on to lukeforcongress.com, hit the donate button, because I need this man up here, because if he ain't in Congress, they're going to take all our NIL money. You and your mamas and everybody else. And not just the black kids, the white ones. They are sleeping. You are definitely right. Everybody's in the bed. Don't got a clue as to what the hell is getting ready to go down the pipeline. Don't have a clue. Don't see it coming. You got Nick Saban has been at this for I don't know how long. Nick Saban has been at this for the last 2 years, people.
It was paid to students in the form of scholarships. What was the exact number that you said, Charlie, before?
4.1 billion last year.
4.1 billion was paid to the students in the form of scholarships, and everybody was happy. Everybody was happy. And now you got yourself a mess. And I think you should just go back to where you have and let some judge tell you can't do it. And you appeal it up and you win at some point, because I think what you had was a great system. $4.1 billion.
So let me break this down for you, what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying go back to what you had before, when you paying kids up under the table in SEC and them conferences allegedly were the only ones profiting, the only ones for real. What he's also saying is you need to go back. These kids have made $4.1 billion. I don't know where they got the calculation from, that they should not be making that kind of money. Now, this comes from the money man who's in there making $1 trillion right now, who got his son and sons running around collecting money, got his son-in-law going to countries with the oil and telling them, if you don't give me the oil, then we're gonna put them ships out there, we're gonna blow you up, and then we're gonna send out American kids. This the guy, the money guy. This the deal guy saying that he has a problem with these kids making money. Let me go back to the system. Let's break this whole thing down. I'm gonna keep stopping.
It was paid to students in the form of scholarships. What was the exact number that you said, Charlie, before?
4.1 billion last year.
So he just asked, what was the amount of money made in scholarships?
Right. And the idea that these schools, and we know the idea of student athletes being paid is not a new idea, but the NIL, it finally kicked in that they finally were getting uh, compensation, and you're using it's called name and likeness. You're using their name and likeness to enrich the university, and it used to be the argument was that, oh, we're giving you free tuition at a top school, and they're making millions on the NIL deal. Tuition in a 4-year period is a small cost. It's a small cost to pay for these universities. Maybe a top university, what, 50 grand a year? So you figure 4 years, that's 200 grand. Small price to pay when they're making tens of millions off of each student athlete. And Sabian, we could call it hypocrisy or worse. He's seeing these kids finally make this money. These coaches, like Sabian, they're making 10 plus million a season. And they don't want the kids to make anything. It's absolutely insane. And you know what's driving it? We don't even have to speak it. But Luke, he alluded to it. And it's a system, folks. It's a nightmare. What's going on in this world? But I'm with Luke on that part. These student athletes now get all you can while you can. You go to these college games, whether it's football or basketball, and the arenas are packed. They all buying the jerseys and all the merchandise and all the concessions. And the university is making money hand over fist, as they say. And yet you got Sabian going all the way to Congress. And of course, the president weighing in. So when that happens, you already know what the real deal is here. And it's always been about the haves and the have-nots. Well, they certainly wanted to continue with the haves and the have-nots. And speaking of have-nots, I have not been on the airplanes lately. I have not been traveling. Look at this. This is JFK. If there's anything that can bring Americans together to demand government action, it's long lines at the airport security check-in. Those lines continue to grow yesterday as a partial government shutdown left the Department of Homeland Security and its Transportation Security Administration unfunded and their agents unpaid at the height of the spring break travel season. Airports are now telling passengers to arrive up to 3 hours early to clear security in time for their flights. The TSA yesterday called on Congress to resolve the impasse over the immigration enforcement policies that have left the DHS unfunded for a month. Yeah, this whole ICE thing has been a disaster, to say the least. But here, it's absolutely crazy, those lines. And it seems like 3 hours is just not going to cut it. It's absolutely crazy. Look at this. 4 hours in some airports.
Gosh. What?
Yes. 4 hours to get through security. And now they got TSA or airports anyway blasting out messages. The lines are long because of the quote Democratic shutdown. It's crazy, but the TSA officers have started to quit. They're not getting paid, and they're saying enough is enough. Atlanta, that's like the busiest airport there is. They're saying that you might as well, if you got a flight in the morning, you might as well spend the night if you expect to get through the lines. You can check your TSA wait times at many airports, including major hubs like Atlanta, Houston, JFK, Philadelphia, Dallas, and Denver. They post them on their websites. But look at this. This is all the way outside in the parking lots. Mike V says they may adopt their own private security for airport security for major airports. They just might. They may have to. And going back to your other comment, Mike, on NIL deals, when capitalism includes black, is now an issue. And Orange G says Trump is too busy for the TSA. He is golfing and fighting Benjamin Netanyahu's war. Yeah, look, 4 hours, folks, in some places. And folks in Atlanta saying, we probably going to have to, we got a morning flight. We probably are going to have to get there, the night before. If that's the case, I'm just not flying. I mean, unless I have to. There's no way. I'm not a lying person. And I guess having global entry and TSA pre-check at this moment does not even matter. I mean, it's the most despicable thing. And here's the thing. It is not being political here, but this particular administration got his hands in everything, and they don't see this. This doesn't concern them. The one thing I remember, and to some criticism, and some deserved criticism too, but not necessarily for this statement that Barack Obama made when he became president. He says he's the president not for Black America, but for all people. I'm the president for all people. And on the face of it, yes, you're supposed to be. And that doesn't seem to be the case with this administration. Look at these, and this is not Black folks or Hispanic folks. This is all folks. Everybody is affected. And then you have to worry about the air traffic controllers, the planes issues. You remember when the beginning of this administration last year, in January 2025, we kept seeing plane after plane go down, crash after crash after crash. So you folks seem to have finally broken through on that. They finally have been able to get their minds together that okay, that's probably behind us. And now they're confronted with this and the constant issues. If you pay attention to any news, you see it seems like every day there's somebody getting tossed off a plane. They got to delay the flight because somebody's acting a fool. And it's not just Spirit Airlines. It's not just Frontier. I mean, it's American, United, it's all of them. Folks acting up. So you got to worry about all that. I'm telling you, the Amtrak Excella continues to be a friend of mine. Because I just can't, my family's been flying. I just not, I know I'm going to have to do it soon. got a child who wants to go to Los Angeles. And never forget the Epstein files, right, Mike V? That's right. He says, I wonder what the wait times were for Epstein's flights. So you could tie anything to Epstein now, right? Because everything is really a distraction from that. And conveniently, when the heat on the Epstein situation gets ramped up, and like Prince Andrew goes to jail or gets locked up, and uh, even Tish, the New York Giants owner, has to give up his ownership or transfer it to his kids because of his involvement or alleged involvement with Epstein. And then what? What happened? Bomb Iran and all this other stuff. You know, sometimes when things continue to happen a certain way, there's no longer just a coincidence. No, it's not just a coincidence, right? I mean, and so we're talking about this when we could be talking about the Epstein files. Look at that. It just astounds me that these lines continue, and folks are there, and you're spending all these hours in an airport. Who wants to do that? Margie says, well, Epstein is worldwide, and a lot of people and countries are involved. And that's absolutely true. And it seems like the other countries are doing stuff about it. When they are finding out new information, folks are going down for it. It's only here that they want to protect folks they seemingly want to protect folks who are involved with Jeffrey Epstein. Mike P says the artist formerly known as, are you talking about my man, my homeboy? But yeah, it's all one huge mess and distraction. There's no way around that. Oh boy. Yeah, I keep telling y'all, and if y'all not doing it, you really should. Y'all need to subscribe on TikTok to your girl, Shaunie B. Her news you can use. Not just that, she's got some great comedy. She does stand up in other places. I think she's currently going on tour. But let's check out what she has for us this morning in her news you can use segment on oh boy. Have we lost our contact there? Okay, we have to. Okay, here we go. We got her. We're gonna go out and check out our girl, Shaunie B, and get some news you can use.
To Shaunie's wife, it's your girl, Shaunie B. And if you're cooler, you got to cool. Oh, yeah.
Disclaimer. These days, people do anything for content with their ugly ass. But regardless if this is scripted, regardless if it's 100% real, the lesson behind what they're doing is going to either make or break your life. Now, there is a video that popped up in my newsfeed. I was minding my own business when I saw two women post about how they showed their Domino's driver got a tip. Not your cash tip, but tip. Now, I'm going to roll this being footage so you can see for yourself, and then we're going to come back and we're going to go down the rabbit hole. Let's go.
Let me film it. It's not. Okay. Yeah, we're doing it straight away.
No, give it to us first.
Hi, you okay?
Yes,
Yeah,
we did.
Domino's, yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so
much. Can we give you a little tip? Bye.
Can you see again?
Yes, you can.
You jumped your visa. You like it? Yeah.
Did we make you happy?
Oh, yay!
Yes,
Yeah,
we are, yeah.
lesbians, yeah.
I like lesbian girls.
Yeah.
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 Okay, cool. We'll order again, yeah?
Yeah.
But no,
You work on a Sunday night?
maybe.
Yeah. So we'll order next Sunday. Yeah.
And next time, when we order again, and just make sure you're our delivery driver.
We have Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah.
It's Imi.Angelica and Holly Lauren.
When my car, can I bring my car?
Yeah, go get your phone. Go get your phone.
It's fine.
Okay.
See what I'm talking about? I get it, ladies. Some things are just prank worthy, and you're kicking it with your homegirls, and you say, girl, let's have fun tonight. Let's live on the edge. Baby, the last place you want to live on the edge is where you reside. You don't know if that man gonna come back, break a window, creep through your window, and get the cooch. You don't know if he's going to, again, stand there and be mesmerized like he was. You don't know what his thoughts are. Mind you, they had accents, so they sound like they're from another country, but it doesn't matter. This is why women have a hard time proving that something happened to them that shouldn't, because you are doing too much flirtation. You're doing too much stuff to put people in a place to think they have that advantage to take advantage of you. So, baby, ain't no games that I'm playing like that. No, ma'am. No ham, no turkey. No. Because he stood there and he said, again? And then she's like, girl's gone wild. And then he stood there and it was like he was processing, like, I'm going to do this last delivery and come back and get it. I'm going to get it. Baby, I ain't playing them type of games. I get it. It's fun now until he comes back and he's forceful. You don't know what that man could do. He could just start staking outside of your house, waiting for the other friend to leave. He could come and wait for both of y'all to be. Baby, listen, I'm not putting myself in danger like that. Not for nobody's shits and giggles. Now, again, I told y'all, ugly ass, and people do a lot of stuff for content, and we don't even know. This could allegedly have happened. But regardless of the day, you always want to say, yes, until somebody come and take it. And then you want to say, what? Say what? Why this happened to me? So I didn't get you every scenario in the book. So I need you to be mindful that the people you playing with, you don't know what their background is. You do not know where their mindset is, mental health is. You don't know. He might have a whole record for sexual assault. You don't know. He might have just got out of jail. That's why he working at Domino's. You don't know, but you're playing with him. You're teasing him. You're taunting him. And at some point, he's going to feel entitled to what you're showing him because you done showed him all the goodies. My goodies, not my goodies. Oh! Baby, listen. Y'all better stop trying to seek attention because everybody's not playing no games. You shut that door, you ate your pizza, you ate your breadsticks and them wings because they running a special for $19.99. Ask because I remember. And then he gonna remember your house. He already got your address. So even on the day you forget him, he damn sure remember you. So sit y'all ugly hot asses down and start being more ladylike because it's not cute. That's some stuff you do on OnlyFans where you have a paid subscription. You don't do that as a tip because next thing you know, he's going to stick his tip in you. But baby, listen, I'm just the messenger. It's your girl, Shaunie B. If you cool with your girl, gone fool with your girl. Make sure you check out my website. Yes. www.ShaunieBentertainment.com, y'all. Check out the fan gear. Option to drop donations. Never any pressure to do either of the two because I see the likes, the shares, the comments means the world to me. So I just want to tell you thank you from my lips to your ears for rocking with me because y'all can be anywhere in the world, but y'all coming to keep me some company. Let's hop in the comments. It really is hard when you have people that are so playful like that with their body and their temple, and then you have people that aren't even displaying that type of freedom, and they have things happen to them unbeknownst to them, and then you're trying to take sides like this shouldn't happen, this shouldn't happen. But most people assume they have forced entry, they have all of these rights to do what they want because somebody else is too free with theirs. Baby, listen, you playing a dirty game when you teasing somebody and they kind of know what your location is. If your location is crazy, stop playing games that you really don't want that energy from. Because some people damn sure feel like this is a yes. You said yes to your number, and he probably he gonna stalk you. Y'all laughing now. And then for him, the benefit is if something randomly happens, then he has this footage to say, well, he was provoked, even though that's not a reason why you should do something. But if you would have kept your damn clothes on, it would have just been a transaction, a piece of to money ratio. Not can I get a piece of that? So y'all stop playing when you really don't want to play for a long term. You're doing it for a short term because you do not know if somebody is mentally stable and what they'll do with what you gave them. Stop teasing people. It's not gonna end up good for you. But y'all do what y'all want to do, baby. But I ain't gonna be on nobody's jury trying to see who's guilty or not guilty when you doing that type of advancing. Okay, but y'all stay out the way. But until next time, next story, and I'm out this piss.
It's true. I agree 100%. Why? Why would you do that? Just because you're being silly and you want clicks? Because you heard her give out an Instagram. And homeboy, he needs to get a grip. He's like she said, he's to process it. And asked her to do it again. And she obliged. They both obliged. It is absolutely horrible. And we were talking about Epstein. And speaking of that, I'm with you guys in that it doesn't it shouldn't be, everything shouldn't distract from that. It has to remain until all the victims get justice, till everybody involved, all these grown men involved, are held accountable. PBS showed some footage of a walkthrough of Epstein's Island. Check it out. This it just looks incredibly scary, wicked. And you could just imagine the horrors that took place there on Epstein Island. And these so many people involved, so many grown men, powerful men, wealthy men involved. It's no question. That's why Epstein is dead. Folks know that they had to, the messenger had to, you had to kill the messenger. I mean, this to use it just shows you money can be, and it is the root of all injurious things, because this is what you choose to use your billions for. An island in which you assault children. How much good could that have been used for if it was used for the right purposes? But that is a glimpse of the infamous, the disgusting Epstein Island. Just awful stuff. So let's not forget that everything that happens, most things that happen, is about distracting from Epstein. Why is that? Well, I guess we can guess. Well, again, folks, let it be known is brought to you by the Bell Project. They're building a justice system rooted in dignity and equality. Donate to them, folks, at bellproject.org. They have supported or assisted 40,000 clients through free bail assistance. And of course, there is the March On PAC, the women-led PAC, working to defend democracy, protect reproductive freedom and voting rights, and elect bold democratic leaders. RNG has a word before we get out of here today. He says the media is showing Michael B. Jordan showing off his Oscar. He is a white-owned fast food restaurant surrounded by white people. Shaking my head. It's just, well, yeah, shaking my head. Some things just leave you speechless. They leave you speechless. But we don't want to leave you speechless. We want to leave you on this note. Join us again tomorrow. We have so much more going on this week. And of course, we're not going to be distracted. So thanks for joining.
Let's go! Let's go, Flav. Hey! Public